I'm gonna be Wilson again. It's like, Heidi ho, neighborino. Make this one with a pair of underwear I have. And then there's a Hello Kitty poking her head out of one of them. It's super silly and super adorable at the same time. Oh, the cat has taken over my spot. Oh, hey, Gabby. Yeah. Hi, honey. I still can't get over how much I love that video. Hey guys, I hope y'all are doing fantastic tonight. I am super excited to be here. First stream of the new year. Happy New Year to everybody. Want to take a minute and say hi to all the new followers. Gingerberry, Upset, Joe, and Break My Dreams. I appreciate all of you guys for the new follows. Welcome to the Quilty crew. I am Sandrasa, your nerdy quilter in arms, and I'm so excited to welcome you to tonight. I'm going to turn it down in my ear a little bit. Hey, TJ! Have no fear, TJ's here. I hope you guys... Uh-oh. You want me to keep talking? Oh, Shemmy's walked in the door. That always means that there's something with the audio going on. So he'll come in and save the day. Is it too loud, or what's up? What? There's a hiss. Well, shit. If it's not one thing, it's 100 things. No, it's in the mic, isn't it? Everything is live. There's no pre-recorded magician behind the curtain here, so we'll just kind of try and do as we can. You can hear it. Oh, fuck. Don't tell me that. That's really gonna make me, really, self-conscious here. Shit. Doobie-doobie-doo. Might have to change mics, but I really don't want to. You can't hear it. Okay. Alright, well, whatever. I'm not going to worry about it. Hi! Welcome to the stream. What's up?
Mute for a second.
Mute for a second? Oh, hell. It's getting serious. All right, let's take a look and see how does that sound now. No worries, take your time. Thanks, I appreciate you, Purple. No hiss, or is it still there?
Still very much coming from the mic.
It's coming from the soundboard. Great. I guess we're investing in a new soundboard. That's not something we'll be able to take care of tonight, but we will have to take care of that eventually. All right. Let me know if the audio is or if the music's too loud.
Barely hear the music.
What?
Barely hear the music.
You can barely hear the music? It sounds like it's like blaring in my ears. That is so funny how that works. Well, I think we've kept our guest waiting long enough. Poor Joe is probably like absolutely going bonkers. Hey, Joe. Sorry about all that. I'm gonna pull on over. I want to introduce everyone to my special guest tonight, Joe Simpson of Joe Simpson Designs. Welcome, Joe.
Thank you. Hello, everyone.
Oh, I gotta turn you up now. All right, let's try that now.
Hello, everyone.
How's it sound, guys? She's super quiet. Can you put the mic closer to your mouth, my dear?
You might hear me breathing.
Yeah, no, that's okay. The mic needs to pick you up, dear.
How does that sound?
That sounds a bit better. Can you guys hear her okay?
Bendy.
What's up?
Turn off your desktop sound in Discord.
What do you want me to do?
Turn off your desktop and put in Discord or in OBS.
In OBS, okay. So over here? No, that's all the way up, dear. This is as loud as Joe gets tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and just stop the music. That way you can't hear her really? Okay. Joe, try a little bit closer to your mouth, my dear.
Eating this thing. How about that? Maybe angle it. Angle it to my mouth. Is that?
Try and come a little in front of your mouth.
I took this from my son's room, so I'm all new here.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit better though, yeah?
Like on my lip.
Oh my goodness. Alright, try talking a couple. No, so Joe Simpson is a designer for the Quilt Designers Collective. That's good? A little bit better? Okay, good. Alright. Joe,
Eat it.
you're not just a quilt designer though, you're a fabric designer, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so how long have you been designing fabric and quilts and all that kind of fun stuff? Tell me about you.
Okay. Designing quilts would have been when I was pregnant with my first one, so 16 years ago.
Wow.
And I did so many applique ones and all the motifs and stuff, but I didn't know how to digitize them, right? Like,
yeah.
I didn't even know how to Google to figure out how to digitize them back then, right? Or I don't even know if YouTube was around. So those just went to the side. And then the last few years I started designing fabric. And well, I was designing quilt collections or fabric collections. And then I would try to shove the designs into the quilts I wanted and realized that was backwards. So I started designing the quilts first and then making the fabric to fit in. It works much, much better.
Nice. And you enjoy that, or how, like, I personally have never wanted to design fabric. Like, that's just never something that I've thought about doing. So I'm, like, really super curious to, like, what drives you to want to design fabric. There has to be something you feel is lacking in the fabric industry, right? What is driving you to want to design fabric?
I guess one of the big things is when I was working in school and seeing all the kids with diverse needs and physical things, right, that I didn't see a lot of that on fabric. Like the multiculturalism, that's
Right.
out there. But like an amputated leg, or one that's really close to me is the diabetes Dexcom. I thought, like, what if the kids that have those can relate to characters on fabric, right?
Right.
Like their favorite quilt has those characters.
Right, and I think so. I'm very nosy. Y'all know that. I like to poke and prod and see Joe's designs, and you shared a design booklet with us not too long ago where you had a hedgehog. And the hedgehog had a little diabetic monitor on its little arm, and it was so cute because you were not necessarily like calling attention to and like screaming, "Oh, look, I'm wearing a." It was just like just normal everyday thing. Like, yeah, a little hedgehog who's diabetic. Like there he is. There she is.
And
Right.
they're just going about their day doing what they do, right?
Yeah, and it's like no big deal, but it's just to be seen. That level of being seen is so important that I don't think most of us even think about.
Yeah, especially for kids.
Yeah.
Right? They just want to relate. And know there's other ones, and especially small towns or small centers where they might be the only one.
Yeah.
Right, that they know.
Yeah, they don't have any friends and they don't have anyone to relate to. Yeah. In that respect, have you thought about making little plushie dolls? Like, because I've seen it before where they do the fabric panels with their design, and then you can cut it up and make a little hedgehog stuffy. Have you thought about doing something like that, maybe?
Yeah, I've done in one of my Christmas lines the dogs.
Okay.
But it was like, I'm just gonna act it out.
No, you're good. Pantomime it. Yeah.
The design of the dog's head, well, like their bust, right? Like the chest part. And then I did probably it was probably quite a few inches around, right? Of negative space. And then the dotted line where they sew. So it was kind of more of a pillow.
Okay.
But I've made like bunnies and platypuses, all that, right? Like stuffed animals, right? Like I ordered all the eyes even, right? Like,
oh my gosh.
With the back so they're like childproof, right?
I know
like
what you're talking about because I used to make little amigurumis and you'd put the little eyes in and the little clasps in, and my daughter, I made her an amigurumi when she was little. She still figured out how to yank that eye out of there. I'm like, oh my god, kid.
Yeah, but, or they should make all the backs big.
Yeah. Well, it was yarn, so she could just wiggle it out, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
Joe,
done those.
Joe, you also, I hate stepping on your toes, but like, oh my gosh, you make the cutest little things. Like, Joe wrote a blog for Quilter's Candy, and they were little candy corn stuffies. Like, those things are the most adorable damn little stuffies I've ever seen in my life. Like, where I am not creative this way. This is really bugging Oshemi to death, I think. He says she might be able to turn up her Discord as well under the voice and video input.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
For anyone who doesn't know, Oshemi, who is also a mod of the channel, he's my partner, but he's an audio-visual technician. He's done live shows for, like, downtown Denver for, like, 13, 14 years. Now he works in the private sector, and so this is his thing. So, like, it drives him nuts when he can't get it right.
So would I be in user settings or app settings?
So if you go down and you use the user settings and you hit the little gear.
Yeah, I'm in the gear.
Yep, and then it'll take you down. You'll go down to voice and video. We'll get this figured out, guys. It'll be great.
Okay. Output volume, is that what
well, input and output. Make sure you turned up.
My input's max, my output is half.
Okay, let's try turning that up a little.
Okay, now it's 200%.
Okay, any better, guys? You'll have to talk a little bit, Joe, to let...
Keep talking, I just wait. Like, how's that sounding?
Okay, out is her end. Yeah, that's what I thought. But her out is already 100% Oshemi, so... I'm sorry, dear. This is as good as it gets.
Unless I just
it turns you up for her, yeah.
And like ditch these headphones, would that be better?
I can't remember if your regular microphone. You have a regular mic, or is it a laptop mic, or?
I'm on my desktop. It's like a Logitech webcam. I don't know.
Oh no, that audio is gonna be worse. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I always make sure to turn off my my webcam mic because it's just junk. Okay. Yeah, you're okay. Our viewers are just going to have to turn their volume up and make sure that they... Yeah, she should be fine. Yeah, Shikamaru's trying to encourage you and saying you're doing great.
So sweet.
Yeah.
I don't know how to get back to the screen.
Yeah, you just had to turn up the stream. It'll be fine, guys. You guys are okay. Joe's amazing.
Pop out of the player to another window.
Oh, don't worry. Yeah, just if you exit out of the settings, you can come back and see us, and it'll be all good. So, okay. Joe and I have been friends. God, it's been over a year now, hasn't it?
Yeah, it feels like 10.
It does. It really does. I've never had, like, friends in my life that I've felt like for such a short time I've known you all for so long. And it feels so good, because as somebody, yes, I talk a lot, and I'm extroverted because I'm, like, on here streaming and shit, but I don't have that many, like, friends, like, friends. It's been a while, since college, right? And, like, having our group of the Quilt Designers Collective is what I'm referring to, guys. Having them and just being able to talk to y'all, and not just, like, so... TLDR for everybody out in viewer world, my son had to go to urgent care today. He's 3. And he came home, Osh took him, he came home with a big old wrap around his hand because he sprained his pinky and all this other stuff. So it's like, not only can I talk about that stuff with my friends, and they're all relating because most of y'all have had kids, and they're already grown and gone, or they're, like, middle-aged, whatever. You guys can relate. But then we can talk about business stuff and quilty stuff, and, like, share our experiences and, like, inside stuff that, sure, I can talk to Osh or my, IRL people and family members, but they don't get it. They don't get why I'm so excited about this opportunity that's coming up, or this quilt project we're doing, the Sprout Quilt Challenge, and working on these blocks and getting all these emails coming in and people excited to work on this. Like, they don't get that. It's just like, okay, honey, whatever you say. Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna go over here now. How do you feel about our group of people? Like, how does that work for you?
First off, I would be lost without them, right? It's like you, I have one friend that quilts, or she used to quilt.
Yeah.
So, and people will ask, and I just give them a brief little bit about quilting. And yeah, it's just a nice place, and we can share anything, right? And like you said, like bounce back between quilting and real life.
Yeah.
And we know each other's, like, significant others, kids.
We're trying. With my goldfish brain, I can't remember who's got what. Like, half the time I think you got a goldfish when really you got, like, a 17-year-old. Like, damn. But, yeah. It's been really vital the last couple of years for us. I feel like we're going on a year and a half now. Like, it's been a while.
Yeah. And I think a lot of things I would have given up on, or, right, when you don't have someone to bounce ideas.
Or to know if you're on the right track, right?
Yeah, or you're discouraged and...
Or is this a normal thing in the industry?
Yeah.
Over 2 years? TJ coming in with the 2-year. Jesus Christ, has it really been that long? Wow. See, that's the thing. It's like, I feel like I've known you guys for, like, over 10 years, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like it's been that long at all. It just feels like this little blip. Time is weird, I'm telling you. Yeah, wow. Oh, Purple Peony is Lori, just in case you're wondering out there. You are blessed. Well, we're all freaking blessed, TJ. TJ is our fearless leader. She led our mentor group for our pattern writing course. And that's the thing is, like, how many of us started in a pattern writing course and then we're all kind of finding our own niche. I hate using the term, like, the business term niche, but really that's what it is. Like, you're focused on designing fabric, I'm doing applique, TJ's doing art quilts, and it's just really fascinating to me that a large group of us can all have our own paths that are connected but different, right?
Yeah. And if it overlaps, totally cool, right? Like,
yeah.
Supportive.
Long armors,
100%
yep.
support, right? Yeah.
Right, and I think that's the other thing that I absolutely love about our group is so often, and I don't understand why it's this way, and if it's like one of those things where people's mentalities stunt at high school, but even at our age, like I'm nearing the 40 mark. I'm not very comfortable with that idea, but I am. And people still act like they're in high school with their cliques and putting people down and trying to like nudge their way around, right? And just how nasty people can be to each other. But like for our group, like if somebody's got to win, we all feel like we've won, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And even there's a thing, I can't really talk too much about it until the 10th. But there's a thing that I was accepted into that another one of our group members was trying to get into, and it was her that actually got me to apply to it. And she didn't get in, and like I felt so bad, like even just sharing it. And she's like, "Don't feel bad. I'm really happy for you. I'm a little grumpy over here, but I'm genuinely happy for you that you got this opportunity." And it's like, that doesn't happen very often, right? Like we are so easy to get jealous of each other and like kind of just let the green eye envy get control, right?
Yeah, because there was 4 of us that tried out for that.
Oh, I didn't realize so many people had tried out for it.
Yeah, when you got it, I told my husband, and I was like, I'm so excited for her, right? And I was like, I don't even feel jealous or anything. Like,
See, now I feel really bad. Like I didn't.
not at all.
I'm
Right?
excited, but it's like at the same time for me, it was like that wasn't a thing that I was like really had my heart on. I didn't even know it existed until you guys were saying something about it. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, let's do this. Let's try this.
But it's a win for the group. Like, we're just all happy, right? I was like, and I think that's a lot of growth for us too, right? Because I don't know, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, would I have thought had the same mindset? Like,
Right?
I don't know, right? Because that's what I thought. I was like, I just feel happy. Like, there's no jealousy or like envy. Like, I think that's pretty big. That was a big moment.
We
And it
lift
wasn't
each
even
other
my-
up. It isn't a competition. You're right. You're right, Purple Poppy. I totally, yeah. Well, and that's the other thing too is that, you know, when we all have these different opportunities, like you're doing quilts. What is it? Quilt 24? What is that conference?
Yeah, the summit. Yeah.
You want to talk
So-
a little bit about that a little bit?
Sure.
Yeah.
There's over 30 teachers,
Wow.
and we all made virtual videos. And it goes from January 10th to 14th. And I think we all have bonuses in it. Like mine is a binding video because I'm just into binding right now.
I hate binding. I could throw it out the window, I tell you.
Well, I used to hate cutting too. And now, like, I could cut all day. Like, I just
Really?
get in my zone. Yeah, it's bizarre because, like, cutting would, like, sometimes projects wouldn't happen because it's like, I don't want to cut all those strips and subcut them, right? And now I just love it. So there's hope, right? It's like, and then binding has just been my thing lately. So I did a video on that, and there's wonderful graphics that go with it. And I guess I can show you. I have a quilt
Ooh, I love teasers.
here. I'll just show you guys.
You guys are getting a teaser for the quilt summit.
Yeah.
We are gonna get to our blocks, guys. Don't think we're not. Oh, it's the little hedgehog. That hedgehog makes me so happy.
So I have this for my giveaway.
Oh,
You
really?
get to pick this panel. There's a dark one, 2 other colorways.
It's
They get
so
a panel
pretty.
and some stripe binding.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Yeah, I love
Can you show me the hedgehog again? The hedgehog makes me so happy. Oh, he's so cute. And the little shroomy. Oh my god. Joe, you are so talented. Joe
thank you.
made that. Joe made that. She's freaking amazing, guys. You guys watch. She's gonna get picked up by a fabric company, and her fabric's gonna blow up. I'm 100% guaranteeing it right now. Like, holy crap!
Well,
It is so cute. So it's pretty much a. So there's no live for the Quilt Summit, right? It's all just videos, and they've got 4 days to watch all these videos. That seems like a lot, right?
There is, because, what was it, 6, 7 a day?
Yeah.
And then there's the VIP pass.
Right.
I want to say $49. And then you have it for the year.
Only a year. That's surprising. Huh. Definitely something to think about. You guys, if you haven't already looked into Quilt Summit 24, that's a free summit, isn't it? And you can do the VIP if you want.
Yeah, you can check it out, watch the classes you want, whatever fits into your schedule.
Yeah. We have somebody in the channel who EW Awesome who's excited because they have those days off, so they're going to be watching for sure. So we're going to keep our eyes. I registered and I haven't decided cuz it's like one of those things like, okay, do I really need one more summit? Do I really need one? And it's like, yeah, but you and Susan are doing it. And it's like, yeah, okay, I'll do this. I'll do it.
Like your one favorite a day you want to check out or something, right?
Yeah. I'll just click it and be like, yeah, I'm just going to watch Jo today. I just want to look and see how she does her. I'm the person who won the raffle for the Yazzie bag. Oh, Erin. Welcome. So EW won the Yazzie. I actually have it. Hold on, I'll grab it.
Oh, this is awesome. Congratulations. Aren't giveaways the best?
I love giveaways.
Right? We had the money and we could do them every week.
Man, if we had the money, I wouldn't necessarily be giving away things. But I have it right here. I love this bag. I haven't used... It's so pretty. And I love the color. It matches my room, my studio, right? Okay. But it's such a good bag. I love Yazzie bags. They're high quality. So I'll be getting that in the mail this week. So congratulations. So excited. That makes me so happy. Well, I guess we should talk a little bit about the whole reason why you're even here, and that's because of the Sprout Quilt Challenge that we as the Quilt Designers Collective are hosting. It's finally started. Today was the first day. Your block and my block were first up to bat. How has it been? What kind of energy are you getting?
It's been great. Like, way more than I expected.
Right?
So, thank you, everyone. Right? Like, yeah.
Oh, it's been so exciting, like, getting all the, like, messages and notices of, like, oh, this person got your block. This person got your block. Da, da, da. And then I have people, like, actually emailing me to say how excited they are to do the block. And it's like, oh, yay. I'm just kind of nerding out a little bit. Man, I'm so excited. But so your block is called Sun Dazzle, and yours is reverse or turn under applique. What's the technique that yours is?
This one is turned under.
Okay.
I have a couple here. Well, they're on the screen too, I guess.
Yeah. I like seeing them close and personal. Yeah. Because that really shows you the scale of what the block actually is. Right there. Perfect. But see, it's bigger than her head, guys. That's a good size block. Like, there is nothing skimpy, except for maybe Bart. Bart's maybe, don't tell Bart he's skimpy, but, but it's a good size block. And you did it in 2 colorways. I like that colorway too. That's really pretty. And see, I think what is really different about your block for me for it being turned under is you've got the angles. You've got really nice sharp angles. It almost feels kind of paper pieced, but not, right? Like, how are you achieving that? You actually put a video out, I saw, on the YouTubes. Where can people find your YouTube video if they want to go check that out?
I know it's Jo Simpson Design on YouTube.
I'm going to have to Google it now. I'm going to Google it now. I'm going to be nosy. Do.
I don't know. I just like doing videos.
It's fun. I don't get to do them as much. It is so much easier for me. Jo Simpson Studio. Let's check that out.
Design.
Oh, Jo Simpson Studio or Jo Simpson Design Studio?
It's Jo Simpson Design, but when I first made it, it was Drop Studio. Like, I think that's my username.
There you are, Jo Simpson Design. Yes, and the first thing is how to fold under machine applique. Yes, perfect. So if you guys want to, I will put the link in the channel. Okay, there we go. There's the YouTube video right there. It'll take you straight to it. If you guys want help with the block of Sundazzle, Joe takes you. It's a really good video, step-by-step instructions. Go watch it. You'll have fun. Make sure to hit the like button. Let's feed the algorithm for Joe, right? Get it going viral. But yeah, you really take it like natural to video. I'm really excited to see more coming from you, and maybe you'll come visit us at Twitch and start streaming, maybe?
Thinking about it.
You're thinking about it. I'm so excited.
Casual and laid back.
It really super duper is. It's super easy, and you know, as long as your consistency is always the key, right? That's what they say in everything. It doesn't matter if it's social media or, you know, learning a new skill or streaming, you got to be consistent. And that's like the hardest part for me. Is like real life gets in the way. Like some nights I've got a migraine, I want to stay at my jammies, and I don't want to be bothered.
And there's so many projects going on, right?
Well, and for me, sometimes it's like, okay, what project am I doing on stream? What project can I work on stream? Like, I can't necessarily work on new projects that, you know, aren't released yet, and, you know, but at the same time, you gotta have something to do. I don't know. That's when I turn on a video game, because I'm just such a big nerd. Like, I'll just turn something on and just go for it. Do you video game at all?
No. I don't even know what it was. When I worked in the oil field, we lived in hotels. I don't even know what it was. We got Sims one day, and like the old square TVs, like little games.
Move your mic to your mouth, dear. Sorry.
And we played, I want to say till like 6 in the morning or something, and then went to work. I don't know if I could video game.
So you're maybe game curious. I might have some cozy games for you that you might be into. I'll send you a link for Palia. Palia is a free-to-play game that is super it's called Cozy because you just, there's like, for Palia anyway, it's like an MMO style, which is multiplayer, right? And it's all online. And I cook, I can farm, I can fish, I can talk to, like, the NPCs in the world. And it's just really, like, laid back and just kind of chill and just kind of vibing, right? So...
Will I get any quilting or housework done? Will I be lost in it for days?
You know, like everything, you know, responsibility and willpower are key, right? But, like, a friend once told me, is like, well, video games may be your addiction, but there are lots worse things to be addicted to than video games. So it's like, okay. I don't know if I like that analogy, but I'll take it, right?
Overdo it in the start.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and that's one thing, like, I definitely, when I was younger, didn't have the self-control and would, like, but I didn't have kids. You know, I didn't have those responsibilities. It's a lot different when you're... Alright, I'll stop nerding and trying to tempt you with the gaming. But yeah, if you ever think about coming to live streaming, let me know and we can get you hooked up and all the good stuff and get you a microphone and that way people can hear you.
Electrical tape.
I mean, I like mine. Normally so these are new. Normally I have RPG or normally they're all rainbow colored. I can't use words today. Words are hard, but yeah.
I like rainbow.
I do like rainbow. I got rainbows behind me on the wall. Everything's better in rainbows. What can I say? But yeah, so your block, now that I keep digressing, I apologize. I told you, streams are laid back. Like, it's just us chilling and talking and hanging out. So if anybody in the channel has questions that they have for Joe or for me or for anything, please feel free to ask. We're here to talk and chat. And that's like one of my favorite things about streaming is like that instant interaction with you guys. You know, you got a question about a technique that I'm doing, I'm here to like go over it again and do it again and just hang out. Right? It's like, and I don't know about you, but like, I think quilters and creatives in general are some of the best people. Because all they want to do is for you to ask a question and for them to like, It's like, oh, you want to know what I'm doing? Here, come here. I'll show you step by step how I'm doing this. Because I want you to be sucked into this craft and be addicted to it like I am. Oh, Purple Peony Poppy asks, what is the process to develop a fabric line?
I'll try to condense it.
It's a good question.
Yeah, okay, I'll go through my process. First, it usually starts with me in the shower or laying in bed in the morning, thinking up how the collection's gonna look, right? Like I was starting a garden one, and it's little bunnies planting a garden and stuff, right? And then I was like, oh, cat's having a birthday party in the backyard. It's usually animals doing an activity. And then it just keeps snowballing. There's like 20 ideas, so then I just pick the one, I guess the one I visualize the most, or excites me the most. And then I usually do little, I don't know what they would be, 3-inch square, kind of like a thumbnail, just a quick sketch.
Yeah.
And I'll lay it out 6 on a page, and I'll do probably 2 to 3 pages of that. Kind of flesh out ones I like, cross off ones I don't.
Wow.
And then sometimes I go to painting to do some work, or I go to the iPad and do some digital drawing and motifs. And then once I have enough, probably, I don't know, 50 to 100 motifs.
Wow, really?
Way more than you think. Because, like, you'll start putting it in, it's like, nope. There's so much, like, nope. But then you really find the ones you love.
Like, your attention span for that, see, right there, that tells me that I would not be good for fabric design, because do you know how many times I just, like, draw something out, I'm like, yep, there it is. That's what I'm doing. There it is. Yeah, sure, maybe I'll edit it a little bit here and there, but, like, 100 different thumbnails? Nope. Nope, forget it. I'm done.
So you love quilting, or stitching, right? I love that. If that makes sense.
I don't know what it is about it I love the most. That's a hard one. But so you get all these thumbnails, but then how do you decide on what kind of fabric colors you want and all that? Like,
then I go into Illustrator, and probably like 2 of them are actually how I pictured, and the other ones just morph and evolve and surprise me.
now is this for just the one main fabric, or is this for all the fillers too that you're doodling for?
Pretty much all of them.
Okay.
Because right, you know how when you want to do a painting or something, you have it in your mind. I don't know if you paint it exactly the same or just things happen.
I do it as much as I can to the skill I have, and usually it looks like poop.
Okay.
I'm not helping, I'm sorry.
You can just delete it, right? Like,
undo button is your friend.
Right, you can try out so many different things. Like, you thought you were going to like this one, but you like the other one better.
Right.
And colors. Choosing colors is so easy. But, like, which ones go together?
Right.
Like, days. Right?
Well, and for you, have you sat down and developed your, what am I looking for? Not just, like, your fabric line, but, like, you know how we all are supposed to have our brand colors and all that? And, like, with fabric designers, they have their, like, key of, okay, these are the tones and the jewel, like, the hues and everything. Do you have that? Do you have, like, a key that you work from?
I've printed out on fabric, too.
Okay.
Because it is a little different than on a bright computer screen.
Right.
Like, I have my bright dimmed down.
So it's a little more accurate for you.
Yeah, I feel like it's helped a lot, too. So then what I did was I picked my main 6 colors, and then all the skin colors. That adds a lot. And then, like a hue and a shade of each, right? You need dark and light.
Right.
In that same color. So, I have about 18 I try to work with. And it's quite a process to stay in, or discipline, right? To stay in.
To stay in that.
I almost work with 2 or 3 colors in a collection. I don't know how they do. Like, how you get your ideas across with such limited colors, but it's kind of neat, too.
Wow. Poppy asks, do you need to know how to draw to design fabric?
Not necessarily, right? You can do mark making in Illustrator. You can like bring up stars. It depends, right? Like maybe you're just doing geometric, and
Right?
you wouldn't, right? Or blenders, you wouldn't.
Well, and I would imagine it depends on your design process, right? Because I know some people work with block printing.
Yep.
And so they'll carve their block and then do a print, and then they'll import that into their design program and then be
Yep.
able to do that.
And you can scan leaves, right? Ferns, plants.
Well, and I've seen some people, they'll just take like a pair of scissors, like an image, and they'll put it in their thing and they'll just trace it in their program. So
Yep.
they didn't necessarily draw it from scratch. They had something to render it from. But I think to a certain extent you would need to know how to draw at least basics, right? In order to really be able. But like at the same time, I know people who can't physically draw on pen and paper, but they're wizards with their computer and their mouse. So I think it really is dependent on what your tools you prefer, right?
Yeah, and I like Procreate for digital drawing
I've
or
never
any
used
lettering.
Procreate.
It's cheap. It's $12.99 one time. There's no monthly
That's
subscription.
it.
Yeah. And on Skillshare, I'm a teacher on there, and
Yeah.
I don't teach Procreate on there, but there are dozens of classes on Procreate, any digital drawing
So
on it.
why do you prefer Procreate over something like Adobe Illustrator?
I don't have a trackpad, right? So I do it on my iPad.
Right.
I've looked at the Illustrator on the app, and I just don't feel it's quite as intuitive.
Mm.
It didn't have everything I wanted, right, for shading. And maybe it is now. I don't know. Or maybe I didn't know how to use it right.
I mean, I feel like the learning curve for using Adobe was probably like the biggest hurdle. And that's why I took the design class in the first place, was because I don't know how many times I opened up Illustrator and InDesign and I just looked at it like, okay, what the hell is this thing? Like, I grew up with a version of Photoshop, right? It was always like a couple like steps back from the like newest version, but still. And you open those and I'm like, oh my god. But like once you start like diving in and learning, it totally. I know you know what I'm talking about, Purple. You totally get it too, because it's just it's daunting. And like that's why I kind of like Canva. Canva's been really nice on a design aspect. It's very intuitive, very friendly, very easy. Now, there's things I can't do on it that I can do on Illustrator, but like for quick works and assets for social media and stuff, like why not, right?
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. You want to do a quick design, right? Canva's easy. Or you don't want to draw all the graphics for it. Canva's got all the stock ones.
Right? Yeah, and just kind of, well, and even just inspiration. Like, okay,
Yeah,
you and Canva are not friends, Purple. I'm very curious to know how you guys are getting along then. That's that. Because I find the Canva is like probably one of the easiest programs out there. No, you're not friends. Oh no.
It depends if you have the free or the paid.
Does it? I've always had the paid, because once I saw that you could do the scheduling with the paid, I was like, oh, forget this. I'm just going to go with the paid the whole way.
Yeah. When I went to do the demo on the free, I kept trying to click on things, and they have that little crown that's the paid, and you're just like, like you're just scrolling all the time trying to find something decent.
The free one is terrible.
Back at frustration.
Well, I mean, there's a reason why they want you to buy their version, right? Like we're just gonna give you a little taste, right? They give you that 2-week trial. Yes, get addicted to all the good things we have for you, and then we'll yank it away like a caffeine addiction. Like, no coffee for you today. I apologize, I'm a little stuffy. I've been kind of sick the last couple days, so I'm like, my dake was wearing off. You can tell I'm getting all nasally. I apologize. All right. Purple's being really good. She's keeping us on track here. She asks, what was your inspiration for your block for the challenge?
So it was decided that we were doing Sprout, right? It was a new year, fresh
Yeah.
beginnings, inspiring.
Skill builder.
I don't know if the fabric was chosen before.
I feel like we decided on skill builder and sprout first, but
Okay.
it wasn't very long after that we decided to use chrysanthemum from Alice in Glass.
Yeah.
Which
And
I'm
then
really happy about. I love how bright and radiant the colors are.
Yeah, very fun. Yeah, it has a good feel to the collection.
It does.
Like, very versatile to make anything with it. So Sprout was the theme.
Yeah.
So I did 8 or 9 little sketches on graph paper. And
Now,
then
did you know at that point that you were doing this particular scale that you were going to do needle turn applique?
no,
Okay.
I did not. And some of my designs were quite simple that could be pieced.
Yeah.
And then there was this one, and then some plants that were all curved. Like, I've never curved pieced, so that would have been applique too. And I brought them to the group, and I was like, what do you guys think, right? And you're all like, the sun, right? I was like, okay, that was that.
I mean, the sun was very attention grabbing out of all the designs. It like really spoke to not just like the challenge, but to you. Like it really was your personality shining. You know what I mean? I'm not blowing smoke up your butt. I'm just saying that you're an awesome person, right? So what made you decide to use needle turn applique? Because there could have been other ways for you to put it together.
Yes, my go-to for applique is a zigzag stitch.
Yeah.
I want to say it like a, I think what's the zigzag start at 3, and I like made it just a smaller and tighter stitch.
So more like a satin stitch.
But not quite.
Not
like
quite.
Kind of in between a zigzag and a satin stitch.
Okay.
And I was like, and I know other people don't know how to do it, but I felt like that was a very familiar one, so I wanted to do something a little different, right? So maybe building my skills and other people's.
See, look, you're so good. I just went with the same old thing that I always do. It's like, oh, I do raw edge applique. That's easy. That's what I do all the time.
Well, and I did think about that about 100 times, right? I overthink everything, right? Like, should I just zigzag it? I think I even called you about it.
You could have easily. Have I shown you so I designed a new mug rug and I did satin stitch like a zigzag, and this like little penguin guy. So you can kind of see how I've got like the little zigzaggies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like doing zigzag stitch. Zigzag and me are not friends.
I love it.
Man, it is so hard sometimes to keep it on the right center spot of the line, and it not going fling.
And that's where, because when I start on my machine, right, when I turn it on to zigzag, it always goes to the left.
Right.
But I always drop a stitch, and I always start on the right on the edge.
Oh, see, I like starting on the left.
Okay. See, if I start on the left, I don't know where it's going to hit on the right, like on the edge of it.
That's why you do a tester first. You get a tester piece of fabric and see how thick it is, right? That's usually what I'll do. And then, so then I'll set it to see, where I think the zigzag, thickness and width need to be. And then, after I figure that out, then I'll take on my scrap, I'll take a pin and I'll draw one of my curved lines. So then I can actually test, going around it like I would be on fabric. So then I can make sure, okay, if I start in this spot, it's going to go over that much. So that's typically how I try and do it anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when I was making the pattern the first time, I had the turned under part set to a 1/4 inch.
Ooh, okay.
And when I ironed one side and the other side, one side ends up bigger, one smaller, so I went to 3/8 of an inch, so and nothing's unraveling, everything is being caught.
Oh my gosh, I like turn under all right, and I think for yours, because you used a paper template, right, to kind of get your angles and all that. When I did pedal dance, that's all needle turn applique, but I used Hugs and Kisses. I don't know if you've ever used that. It's an iron-on fusible, but it's water-soluble.
Oh.
So, yeah. So, I could leave the paper on, and I could glue around and press the fabric over to get that edge. And then I didn't have to worry about pulling the papers out after. I just leave the papers in and it washes away.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That would be helpful.
Where do you get that? Purple, to get that you have to go to, I get it at Amazon. Some quilt shops are going to have it in stock. You can also look, Hugs and Kisses works a lot with the Appliquick needles. I know they have like a partnership, so if you look for Appliquick, typically you'll find Hugs and Kisses as well. I'm surprised that not more companies have a water-soluble iron-on fusible. Like, Hugs and Kisses is really the only fusible that I have found that is purely water-soluble, iron-on, no buts about it, you know what I mean? Because, like, I've found others that claim they're iron-on, water-fusible, whatever, and then I start using it and using my glue stick to kind of lay the fabric down, and that glue immediately starts dissolving the material. And I'm like, well, shit. That's not exactly going to work for what I need. Because I guess that material that they were using is more for, like, embroidery machines. Like, embroider it and then run it underwater and it just dissolves away. But it's like, I need it to, like, stick around for a little longer. You know what I mean? So what do you want to talk about, Joe? Do you have any questions or anything that you'd like to ask our audience or me or anything?
I sure do. I would like to know about your block and how it came to be.
Oh, goodness gracious gravy. So the funny thing about me, if you guys don't know, I don't really think. I just do. I don't think about what I'm going to say. I don't think about what I'm going to do. I just say it and do it. And that's kind of why I'm a goldfish. So I really wasn't thinking that hard when I designed. Honestly, the more I thought about trying to design this block, the more tripped. That's a fact. Oh, Chevy, shut the fuck up. I was going to make you Pavlova. No, I'm not going to make you Pavlova, you shit. This is what I gotta live with. But the more I was trying to think about what I was gonna design for this this block challenge, the more it was tripping me up. Like, I just didn't feel like anything I was gonna do was gonna fit or be good enough for the group. And like, I'm seeing everybody's blocks coming in, and it's like everybody's was looking so good. And even now, like, I know a lot of you guys haven't seen the finished quilt yet. And you will. I'm sure there's some graphics going out on Instagram now that have Joe's and my block shown, and then everything else is kind of blurred out. So you can kind of start seeing from there that everything is very geometric. Everything is very geometric, and then you have my butterfly that is just like, hi, I am curvaceous and beautiful. Like, let me get in your face and be completely different than everybody else. So I feel like I stick out like a sore thumb. But at the same time, it's like, this is the way I design, right? And I just kind of kept thinking about, all right, sprout, growth. I don't want to draw a flower. Flowers are easy. That would be something simple. Butterfly, oh, maybe butterfly. And then, like, it hit me. It's like, you know what I don't see much of? Because, like, you always see butterflies, and they're flying, and they're happy, and they're free. But butterflies breaking out of their cocoon. You don't see that very often. And that is probably one of the most significant. The more I thought about, like, after I drew it out, and then I was thinking about, why did I do this? Because I just draw and I don't think. And then I sit back and I look, and I'm like, okay, well, why did I do this? And then it was like, a butterfly. I don't know, I'm sure you know this, but for anybody out there. When you see a butterfly coming out of its cocoon, it looks like the most painful and struggling kind of battle that this creature is going through, and you're tempted to go over and help it and break it out of its cocoon. But if you do that, if you help this creature at this stage, it will die. Because it needs to have this battle. It needs to break free from this prison it's made for itself in order for its wings to be strong enough to fly and for it to survive. And that's really what this year kind of was for me, 2023. Was like, I knew where I wanted to go, and I knew what I needed to do, but I had to just do it. And, like, even though I have everyone cheering me on in the background, like, y'all have been fantastic, I had to break free of my own barrier and, like, mental barrier of, like, you're not good enough, you can't do this, who the hell do you think you are? Right? I had to break free, and don't get me wrong, it's still in the back there yelling at me sometimes, right? Like, who doesn't have those nasty little voices in our heads? But, like, it was just one of those things where it's like, oh, that's why I drew this. So, like, I wish I could say that I had this great thought before and had that inspiration before to go. But for me, like, half of my drawings, the inspiration, like, the reason doesn't happen till after. Isn't that funny? I'm just a goldfish. And then there's Bart. For people who haven't seen our little mystery buddy, this is Bart. Okay? I just drew him because I was bored and y'all loved him. I was like, are you guys serious? You seriously want this thing? 100% all about the journey. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. So I'm pretty happy with my block and how it's come out. I still feel like I stick out like a sore thumb, but I think it's really synopsis of, like, how our group kind of fits together, though. Because, like, yeah, really. And, like, Purple said, Adele's block, her quilt block is, well, I don't want to spoil it for people because it's really pretty, but, like, hers is, like, a version of applique, but it's very geometric. So it kind of helps bridge that gap. You know, because yours is applique, but it's geometric. Hers is applique, but it's geometric. So it all kind of goes, right? So I see you have the applique layout guide behind you. How do you like it? I'm always curious how people like working on a pattern.
It's great. I have, like, the heat and bond, all the fabric on my table, and then that's stuck up on the wall in front of me, and I kind of work off of it, and it's good.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, very helpful, and I know where all the little pieces go.
So for anyone who isn't aware, Joe is going to be hosting a Zoom call, right? A Community Sprout Zoom call on Thursday night, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm going to be working on your block during that Zoom call. So I'm really excited to get into it and have some fun. So there's a Zoom session coming up this week for the challenge. What is that going to look like? That is a good question. So the link for the Zoom call will come in an email on Wednesday. And there's going to be 2 Zoom sessions. There's going to be one on Thursday night, right? And then one on Saturday morning for people who can't do evenings, right?
Yeah.
So how is that going to look like? How's the structure going to be?
It'll be kind of like a come and go work time. Everyone will come in, we'll chat a little. Or if anyone has questions, then just work, chat, or just work quietly. You can have your cameras on, off. You can be muted or talk. Yeah, it's
pretty chill, pretty laid back. And I know quite a few of us, the designers anyway, are going to try and make it every week. Because I know there's an ad playing. Oh, man. That's the bummer. Can you repeat? Yeah, that's the one thing about Twitch. If you don't have a subscription, ads will play and kind of interrupt. So if you don't mind repeating that for our friends.
The Zooms will be just a casual come and go. You can have your cameras on, off. You can be muted. You can talk, or in the chat too. can check the chat if you want to ask something. And probably just do a quick about you and then just sewing or cutting, whatever you want to work on.
Thank you, Shikamaru, for gifting that sub to Purple Poppy. There will be no more ads for Purple Poppy now. Yeah, that's the one thing. Twitch is trying to figure out their revenue system, and it's not as figured out as YouTube. You know, YouTube has YouTube Premium if you don't want to use any of the ads. But, yeah, so now you're a member of the Quilty Crew officially of Purple Poppy, and you get all sorts of emotes. I got the best emotes on Twitch, I tell you that much. They're cute little strawberries. I still have my Christmas ones up. I need to take those down. But, yeah.
Do we have time for me to ask a question?
Yeah, we got plenty of time. So my streams, I'll go from 8 o'clock Mountain to 10 o'clock Mountain. So we can go as late as you want or as early as you want. I'm happy to do either. So yeah.
I would love to know what kind of quilting the audience likes to do, or anything they want to share about quilting.
Ooh, she's putting the question on you guys, audience. Okay, so I want to know, I'm nosy, you all know this. Tell me what your favorite quilting technique or style is. I'm watching and waiting.
How many people are on this?
There's 31 people watching, actually. This is actually a really high viewer count. So, yeah. Yeah, you're popular, Joe. Abstract art. Purple Peony Poppy says abstract art. You suck at art? Shikamaru, okay, well, you might suck at art, but you don't suck at art. That's one thing that I firmly believe is if you can draw a circle with a pencil, you can do art. Oshemi says, as long as I don't sew my fingers together. Okay, now that's bullshit right there. I'm calling Oshemi out because Oshemi owns a sewing machine. Okay? He doesn't want to admit, well, sometimes he'll admit it, but he was, like, sewing cosplay stuff at one point. And, like, he was hand sewing these links, these, like, metal links together because he was trying to make a chain link vest for a Ren fair. Yeah. Yeah. It's not even halfway done, but, like, the fact that he was even doing that, shush. I'm not shushing, sir. I'm not shushing. I'm going to tell everybody your dirty secrets. So, yeah.
Sewing does come out of necessity, right? Like, you need something made and you're not finding it in a store.
Or you don't want to pay for it. Do you know how much, like, that kind of garb costs? Like, Ren Fair garb in general is so expensive. Man quilters are cool. I agree. I 100% agreed. And it has nothing to do with the fact that Oshemi has been talking very seriously about getting a long arm machine and wanting to quilt. So when I took him to H&H last year, and it was such a good time and I was so glad he could come. He didn't get to come on the floor very often because he was actually, like, remote working during that time because, you know, we gotta make the money. But he was seriously smitten with the Innova machine. You would, but they're expensive. Yes, I know, but we've been actually talking about, like, how would we make that work, like, that finance work. Because he likes the tech side, right? And of course that makes sense. But he just wants to do edge to edge, spend money to make money, 100%. 100%. See, Oshemi, you're going to find enablers here. We're all going to tell you to do it, okay? Not just because I want a pretty long arm quilting machine to quilt my stuff. TJ says half square triangles, HSTs, and cutting fabric panels up. Yes. TJ is such an amazing art quilter, and I still don't understand how she does what she does with her art quilts. Man, the first time TJ showed us her art quilts of the panels cut up, I did not believe that was a panel. There was no way, no how. Like, holy smokes. And to be honest, I'll share with you, Joe, like, the first time we were meeting in our groups, in our small groups, and I found out that our mentor was going to be an art quilter, I was so excited. I was like so excited and like so super nerdy, like, oh my god, it's an art quilter, because there's not that many art quilters like on the scene kind of thing, you know what I mean? Do your own to save money. It's in the 5-year plan along with the. You're not getting a Nissan GTR. Or, yeah, GRT, whatever. Whatever. Gingerberry, thank you for the sub. I don't have my alerts on. I apologize. Like, thank you very much. That's another member of our Quilt Designers Collective right there. Yeah. Jody, what's your favorite? What's your favorite quilting style? Because you're so good at so many different quilting techniques. I'm going to try and add my alerts. I can't even remember what my alerts are. Oh, shit, that's the wrong thing. I'll do it later. What's your favorite, Joe?
Depends on the day. Sometimes I just like patchwork piecing. Other times, some applique.
Right.
I haven't really tried other ones, so I'm looking forward to trying new ones.
I think that's the beauty of quilting for me, is when I went to college, I did ceramics and woodworking. Those were my concentrations. And even then, like, you know how it is when you're a crafter. You jump from craft to craft. You may be really into scrapbooking one year, or really into crocheting, or really into, right? And we just jump and jump and jump. And, like, I learned to crochet when I was, like, I think I was 10. My mom taught my sisters and I. So we all three would sit in the doctor's offices, like, crocheting and being busy with our hands. But I always, like, I couldn't stick with it because I felt like it took too long, right, to make anything. And so, like, I found quilting my last year of college. And I was hooked. I have never gotten bored. Knock on wood. I have not got bored of quilting once. Like, yeah, I've had points where I've had to step away because, like, I've burned out and, like, I don't have the want to quilt, right? But there are so many different styles and techniques, and modern and traditional and Boston albums, and I have a Dear Jane up there that, like, I'm only 3 into 13 rows. Like, there are so many different types and styles. Like, it just keeps me busy and keeps me fascinated. Quilting never gets boring. There are so many types to fit your mood. Exactly. Exactly. I agree full-heartedly with that.
Post that.
Well, how do you like being on the stream so far, Joe? Is it okay? Gotta put the mic back in front of you. I want to get you a mic just so we can have conversations on stream and, like, not have you stressed out. Like, I hate having to be like, hey, put the thing up. Like,
Okay.
it was good and then it kind of moved. You know what I mean?
I just need to get my own headset.
I can get you some suggestions. And when I say me, I mean I'm gonna get Osh to get you some suggestions. He made suggestions for Purple Poppy for her headset that I guess her partner got her for Christmas, her birthday, something like that. And she really loves them. So, yeah. You can put it down and pick it up. Yes, with the quilting. Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, Shemi loved my headset. See, Osh, I told you she loves her headset. Like, when you ask Oshemi to do something, he really digs deep down. Their words are hard. Totally not because I have rum in my Coke. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big old nerd. It's alright. So what else do you want to talk about, Joe? I know I've got you here, and, like, there's so many things that I'm so nosy about, but, like, I feel like I'm so domineering in the conversation. I want to give you a chance to, like, breathe.
Another audience question?
Sure, let's ask the audience another question. I'm totally up for this. Let's do this.
Okay. What are your favorite color combinations?
Ooh, that's a tricky one.
Or do you have a go-to, or you mix it up?
Who is Joe? Purple Peony Poppy wants to know who is Joe.
Like,
Metaphorically?
or do you want to know where I live?
I'll tell you my favorite combination is teal and white. I love teal and white. I mean, obviously, look at my studio. I'm freaking all over the place with teal and white. Oshemi says black and red, because he thinks he's an edgy emo. Shikamaru says purple, black, and white. That's a good combination. Has that medieval royalty kind of vibe going on for me. It's like I think of like the medieval crests and all that.
Yeah, I saw a purple and white quilt. Oh, I don't know who made it. And it kind of reminded me of the red and white, but I like the purple and white.
Right? Red is so aggressive.
Yeah, and it can run.
Right, well, and so does blue. Like, you see the blue and whites, and it's got that country charm, but then the blue runs all over. You are a medieval nerd. I know that, Shikamaru. You're a nerd.
Yeah, when I saw the purple one, I need to do one of those.
Right? It sounds really nice. And I saw, I don't know about you, but I don't get to make quilts that aren't my own design very often anymore. So, like, it takes a lot for me to want to buy somebody else's design. And I saw one. It was super cute. It was this little Halloween quilt. And it was all these little Halloween blocks. And you did embroidery. You did, like, black and orange little embroidery for the houses. And they were, like, these cute little, how do I want to describe it? Like a creepy vintage Victorian. So it was like a little potion shop and a little, like, treat shop, but it was, like, Victorian and all kind of, like, run down and, like, witchy. It was really cute. I'll have to find it and do it one year. And I can sit in my UFO pile like everything else for the last, like, 5 years.
I know, so many things.
What is your favorite color combination, Joe?
I kind of like rainbow colors together. Or like muted rainbow colors together.
Muted rainbow colors. So, like Taste the Rainbow Skittles level? Like,
Or like creamsicle.
creamsicle. Oh, yeah.
Kind of.
Orange and white, those are really pretty. Upset says any bright colors, rainbow. I mean, I love the rainbow. I have been in such a rainbow mood. Like, I just want that bright, happy, intense. Oh, here we go. So TJ says teal and gold. That sounds really chic. Purple Peony Poppy asks, that's a mouthful sometimes, what is Joe's and my favorite quilt tip? You got a quilt tip you want to share with us?
Well, give me a minute.
Okay. So I'll share mine, and if you're a quilter, you probably already know this, but you guys know that I love to do English paper piecing. I'm a little bit of an addict, okay? But one of the best things I've ever learned, and I've been, trying to thread a needle for, like, I can't even remember how long I've been trying to thread a needle, right? But I found out that if you want to thread a needle really easily, you lick the eye of the needle, the metal part. And then you take your thread, and your thread is going to be attracted to that moisture and go through the eye a lot easier. Versus, like, the old stereotypical, like, lick the thread and get it and then push it in. That doesn't work. Because when you wet the threads swell because it's fiber. So you're just making it harder to jam it through the hole. So that's my tip. Is lick the eye of the needle, as weird as that sounds.
Licking metal.
Yeah. Well, I do that for my sewing machine too. I'll lick my finger, and then I'll run that against the eye of the sewing machine needle. That way when I'm threading, because, like, my eyes aren't as strong as they used to be, so seeing where that eye is down there is really hard. And I don't use the threader on my machine because it doesn't work. So that helps me make sure that my thread goes in.
Common knowledge, right? Why are we looking thread?
Right? Right? You love your EP. I'm going to try that. Thanks. You're welcome, Upset. Let me know how you like it, because I have all sorts of English paper piecing tips. Like, that's a lot of what we do typically on the channel. When I don't have any other projects going, I'll just sit here and do English paper piecing. Yeah, it's really my vibe. It's such a fun thing. But so, Joe, you have to tell us your quilting tip now.
Okay, probably my favorite one is when you're doing straight binding, fold the strip down and put it together, match your stripes up before you even think of like turning it and sewing it together. I don't know if that makes sense. I should have binding here. Like
Say that one more time. I think I'm following you.
Your strip of binding.
Yeah.
Right? And like fold it down like like on a 45-degree angle.
Okay.
And put it on the next strip.
Oh.
So you match up your stripes, and then you flip it up and sew the line.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Taking the binding, right? You go like this, do a diagonal. You don't think it's going the right way.
Right, because you're going crisscross applesauce right there.
Yeah.
But if you fold it, then you can see because you're going. See, I have a stripe binding that I'm going to be using on Tipsy Tea, so I need those tips. So I'm going to be using that. And I'm probably going to be calling you going, "Joe, help me." I cannot tell you, in all the years of quilting, I do the crisscross applesauce binding, right? And I do it on when you end it. You know how some people, they'll just like butt the ends or they'll fold the ends in or whatever? I do the crisscross applesauce because then it fades the binding out, right? It does not matter how many times I do it. I always have to relearn. I always have to rewatch a video or something. I can never remember how to do that and like do it accurately so I don't have to rip the seams out like once or twice. Oh, excuse me. Once or twice to like It's the most annoying fucking thing in the world. Like, my brain does not want to work. Ah.
I think so many times you feel like you should just know.
Right?
Like thinking of something else or like.
And then you see these tips on like on Instagram, like these quick little, here's like how to do it in 10 seconds, do, and it looks so easy, and then I go, okay, how did you do that? That's not working.
Right, and then what wrong?
Exactly. I mean, you too? I'm glad I'm not alone here. I'm not alone. Oh my god, binding is so annoying. Like, I know, and I've really kind of cheated a little bit. Like on the cup, I did the fold in, because I was just like, I was done. I was like, I'm not fucking around with this shit anymore tonight. Like, I was so angry about it. You ever get angry at your quilts? Like, you get tired of ripping out the same seam or something, you're just like, no, I'm done. You're going on timeout. I don't want to see you anymore. We're breaking up for a little bit, okay? I don't want to see you.
I like how you put it on the quilt and not yourself.
What's that?
You put it on the quilt and not yourself.
Exactly. Well, it's the quilt's fault.
I like it.
It's the quilt's fault. It's not my fault. I'm perfect in every way, thank you. I still have a quilt that I put away in a box. And it's up on my shelf, and I won't look at it. It's been, like, I think 2 years. I'm still broken up with it. I'm like, no, I don't want to look at you. There's nothing wrong with the quilt either. I just got really frustrated with it. It was a canceled commission quilt, with a commissioner, like, threatened to sue me, and all this other shit. Yeah, yeah. So I don't want to look at it right now. It's like, yeah. I'm still not over it. I need to go to therapy. We need to go to couples therapy quilt, okay? Maybe have like a margarita or something, and maybe I'll burn it. I can't burn it. Fabric's expensive. Fabric's way too expensive to burn it. Plus, I want to finish it just to spite the person and like sell it and like, or just give it to somebody. You know what I mean? I don't want to burn it.
Let it make an appearance somewhere.
I don't know. I don't know what I'll do with it. I'll do something with it at some point, but it's sitting there in timeout. I'm weird. I can't help it. Maybe we can get Taylor to write a song.
Oh my god. I love it.
Oh my god. I mean, she does write a song for every breakup, right? Maybe I should start doing that. I should make, like, breakup quilts. Like, every time I break up with one quilt, I make a quilt about the breakup with that quilt. It'd be totally meta. It would work. I'm down for this. Let's go for it. Yeah, it'll go viral. Here is my Taylor breakup quilt about this quilt. It was tall and dark and had all sorts of wavy lines and didn't want to sit right and the seams were wonky. Cheated on me with the fabric next door. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Oh, I tell you what.
Breakup line.
It'd be like an old country song, right? Like, because the country song's always talking about, you know, your dog ran away and your girl left and your pickup truck broke down. Like, we'd be writing a country song about a quilt. Yeah. I know, now that's all I'm thinking about. Alright, anybody else have any questions for our fantastic guest, Joe? Joe Simpson of Joe Simpson Designs. You are absolutely fantastic and a beautiful person. I'm so glad that you are here and talking with me. Can we not talk about vehicles breaking down? I have PTSD. Okay, listen, Shikamaru. Just because your vehicle's in the shop doesn't mean it's like the end of the world. You're gonna be okay. There are more fish in the sea. But yes, Joe, thank you so much for coming out and being here and putting up with my shenanigans. Your wallet's not. Shikamaru, I could say something right now, but I'm not, my friend. You are a butt. I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you, Joe, when you're trying to say something. I have too much streamer brain where I just read chat naturally, and I apologize.
Right, this Twitch world.
What's that?
The Twitch. Spike in my mouth.
I'm sorry!
It's not your fault, it's this. Me.
It sounds a lot better now.
Yeah, I'll just rub it on my lips. Right, like this Twitch world is so neat, and I know you talk about it, but to be in it and
right,
chat with you guys, like, it's pretty cool.
Well, and like, so Joe showed up early to stream because I needed to set like this whole scene up, and for a while there, I was just like kind of talking to myself, trying to get everything set up, and then like we set up the virtual camera so she can kind of see the stream in Discord in the virtual camera. So, like, you can actually see some of the things, but you're not even seeing, like, at some point, if, like, you really want to get really deep down into streaming, like, I can do a screen share, and you can see, like, OBS and all the things and how to, yeah. I would love to dive into that with you, because I think you'd enjoy it.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
I think the commitment, time commitment, right?
Well, and it's one of those things... Yeah, because, like, you gotta find your time frame, right?
Yeah.
And, like, for me, I do 8 o'clock Mountain to 10 o'clock Mountain because that's the time frame that works for me because of the little ones, right? Like, I used to, when I first started streaming, I used to be a mid-morning stream. I used to be Eastern time, and I would, like, stream from, like, 10 Eastern to, like, 2 Eastern, right? And that's, like, one of the things, the big difference between, like, YouTube videos and streaming. For YouTube, if you're doing a live stream, you want to keep within that 2-hour mark typically. You can go longer, but if you stay in that 2-hour mark, it's easier to upload after the stream is over, right? Versus Twitch, the longer you go, the more the Twitch algorithm is going to feed people into your stream. So, like, you'll see streams that go for, like, 6 to 8 hours. Yeah. Yeah. And I used to have I think my longest stream I ever did was a 13-hour stream. Yeah. Yeah.
So was it a work session?
No, I was gaming. I was down the rabbit hole in a game. I have done like 6-hour work sessions. One of the first projects I ever did on stream, and this was before I started designing my own stuff. I did the 100 days, 100 blocks challenge. And I would work on stream for that, and I would just have the book out of camera view, and I would just be cutting. I wouldn't talk about the measurements or anything, so I could work on it, but I wasn't, like, giving the pattern away, right? That's kind of one of those things, right? Yeah. 32-hour birthday stream for you? Let me guess, you were playing Minecraft. Were you playing Minecraft, Oshemi? What were you doing? 32 hours seems like a big, like, no.
Was some of it sleeping?
You were playing Ark? Yeah, were you sleeping? Well, technically, you're not supposed to stream when... There are some weird rules that you need to, like, you're not supposed to sleep on stream, or...
Just probably good.
Yeah, there's... And, like, people do IRL streams, but you're not supposed to stream and drive. And some people will do that. And they'll get in trouble because they're reading their chat while they're driving. And they've gotten, like, kicked and banned. Yeah. This was back in 2016. Okay. Rules were different and crazy back then? Yeah. Yeah. But there's...
And you, like, pass off.
something like that. No one Oshemi, he probably was eating Domino's Pizza and Mountain Dew. Yeah. Back before I knew him. But yeah, if you're ever interested in really kind of coming in and doing some streaming, like, let me know and we'll get you set up. And you weren't on your own back then. Oh, well, that makes a difference. Like, doing a joint stream, like, there's a different energy too. Like, having you as a guest, or like if you were here in the studio, there's such a different energy than, like, me just sitting here, right? Now, if somebody's in the chat talking, like, that can be really energizing and really easy to, like, keep your energy up, but it can be tiring. And I'll tell you, for you and for anyone out there who's thinking about streaming, one of the best pieces of advice I always got was, you always got to be on, and you always got to be talking. Now, it sounds weird, like, not authentic, like, oh, you've got to be on. No, what I mean is, every moment from right now to right now to right now is somebody's first time coming in, right? It's their first impression of you. And if you're just one of those streamers that's just going to go, and play a game, and be no energy, and not talk, and just go, like, that's not engaging, that's not entertaining, that's not calling to somebody to want to stick around, right? You gotta be comfortable with talking to yourself, right? I'm I don't shut up. I don't stop talking. So it's pretty easy for me to just keep talking like I am right now and not really say anything or mean anything, but I just keep, yeah. Yeah, you kind of have to get used to that, right? And it can be hard, and, like, your throat's gonna be tired afterwards, right? Yeah. Food for thought.
Be a growth.
Well, and that's one of the things you gotta remember is discoverability on Twitch is probably the weakest thing that Twitch has. Like, YouTube has really strong discoverability algorithms and stuff like that, where Twitch does not. Twitch, you want to try and bring your community, if you have a community built around, bring them in, right? That helps. It's not a necessity. But be used to a room with maybe 1 or 2 people. And ask family or friends to, like, channel in and watch for those couple. Because if there's somebody, like, we have, like, 30 people. We've had a consistent 30 people this whole time, which is, like, unusual. But that just means that people are coming and going and it's getting fed. Because there's more people in a room, that must mean there's something going on. So the algorithm kind of kicks you up.
You find a lot of yours come from Facebook and Instagram? or...
Well, so that's the interesting thing is when you go after stream, there are some stream analytics that you can get into on the backside. And it'll tell you, like, where your clicks came from. Did it come from an external source? Did it come from the notification that Twitch sent to the people who are following you? Like, we have about 443 followers for this channel. And it'll tell me that maybe 9% of those followers have their notifications turned on for my channel. Which is actually not too bad, considering. And it'll tell me how many of those viewers, those followers, come back. That they're clicking the links and getting the notifications and coming back. Right? So it's just one of those things. And, like, right now I'm an affiliate. So that means I can have subscriptions and I can earn revenue from here. Right? When you start out, you won't be an affiliate. You won't be able to earn a revenue. You have to start growing and getting a following in order before you can qualify to be able to do that. So, things to think about. And my whole thing is, like, if I'm sitting in my studio working anyway, why not stream? You know? It's nice to have the social interaction.
Yeah, and you stream overhead too?
I do. I can actually show you. I have several different scenes. Like, you saw my starting scene, and I have the intro video. And then the intro scene was just like me, and then this is an interview. And then I have a hand sewing where I have a camera overhead that when I'm sewing here. And then I have the cutting table over here that you can kind of see. Right? So, I have all sorts of scenes. But I've also been doing this for like 7 years.
Yeah, you have a wonderful setup.
Well, and it, as much as I've taught myself all of this, it really has helped to have Oshemi to kind of tighten things up. Like, I couldn't have heard that hiss that I guess I was getting at the beginning, right? Having him, like, in the stream and hearing helps. The one time, and I know I'm getting long-winded, guys, but, like, the one of my very first streams, I streamed for, like, 2.5 hours, and I know people were coming in because you can see, like, your numbers over on your page. I had streamed, ended stream, and went back to watch my VOD to see how it sounded and all my audio and stuff. That whole 2.5 hour stream, my mic was off. And nobody said a thing. Like, that is, like, those are one of those gut-wrenching times, right? Where you're just like, oh, man, did I really seriously just do that? And it happens. So, not trying to scare you off of streaming, but just trying to be like...
You're human. Okay.
We're all human. I think this would be really good for you if you... Well, not good for you, but I think you'd be a good fit for it. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I've been wanting, right, to build or contribute to a community, right? Like,
yep.
No.
Right. Well, and one of the things that you can do is recently at TwitchCon, they announced that we can multi-stream. So we can actually start streaming to both Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So if you wanted, I can give you the details off stream, but you can do that now. So if you wanted to be trying to build your YouTube channel and build a Twitch channel for live streaming, you can do that. Yep. There's all kinds of little things. Like, I could probably do, like, a workshop. Like a 2-day workshop with all... Because there's just a lot of little things. Like, it sounds simple. Like, yeah, just hit the live button. Get a webcam, get a mic. Some people are like, oh, just get a phone. Right? I'm like... How expensive is that phone that you have? How many payments? That's like $1,000 phone. That's going to give you shoddy audio and shoddy video. Where my webcam cost me $90 and I think my mic cost me $100. That's still cheaper than your phone. And I got better quality than you. People will stay for better audio than they will for bad audio. So if, like, you're trying to figure out where to invest, if you start making videos, you want to make sure you have good audio. All right, I'll stop randomly ranting and all of that. I'm sure I've put like half of our stream to sleep now. But yeah, you get me started on a tangent, man. I don't stop. Well, Joe, before we wrap up, and because we're actually getting close to that. Hey, I see you Zian over there, okay? Wake up. I will come over there and I will kick your butt. Okay, Purple? I see you. I'm gonna kick you in the corner. Before we head out, because we are getting close to that 2-hour mark, actually, where can people find you? Like, this is the part where you get to sell out and plug all your fun things.
Okay, so Instagram.
Yeah.
At Joe Simpson Design. And website is the same, Joe Simpson Design. And at Quilt 2024. And I have links on both if you want to go check it out. And the registration page has a lot of information on it, like all the topics and teachers and stuff, which is nice to see if you're interested in that.
I'm going to pull up your Instagram and pull up your link so I can plop it in the channel.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's neat how you can just do that too, right?
Yeah, well, again, this is one of those things where I could dive in because I use a bot to have like actual stream commands. Yeah. Yeah. So there's Joe's link. Hit that link. That'll take you to her Instagram. She has a Linktree link on her bio page. Hit that. It's got all the stuff, right? It's got all the links. Yeah. All the good stuff. So. And then, if you guys are part of the Sprout Quilt Challenge, make sure to keep an eye on your emails. The email is scheduled to go out Wednesday morning. Joe is going to be hosting a Zoom call. Joe, you are so fantastic for doing that. I really appreciate. Like, I love that you want to, like, help the Sprout community and, like, answer any questions and really kind of, like, we talk about building community, but, like, if we're not doing anything to actually, like, bring people in and, like, talk, then, like, are we actually doing what we said we're doing? Right?
Yeah. See what people are working on.
I'm nosy.
Like, right?
I gotta know. I want to know what your fabric pool is. I want to know if you're working on it. Like, I think last time I checked, 70 people had downloaded my pattern for today's block. Yeah. And I'm like, oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait to see everybody's fabric pools and everybody's versions. Like, I'm biting at the bit. I'm excited.
And have that designated time to work together if it works out.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think that's helpful too, right?
Right.
Just to get started or...
Well, even us designers, we haven't made the full quilt. We've made our own blocks. Like, and even this block's going to Lori. Like, I don't get to keep this block. This block has got to go away. So I need to make another block. So, like, having that designated time as designers as well. Because normally we're just working on our own thing all over the place. So, I'm really excited. Well, thank you, Joe, for coming and dealing with my rambling and my chaos and being on stream tonight. I really appreciate it.
And it's wonderful to hear from you and everyone on the chat. It's pretty neat. I like it.
Yeah, and thank you, chat. Thank you guys for coming, showing up, and asking your questions. Like, super awesome. Super appreciate y'all. You guys are so good. So when you start, I'm gonna say when because you're gonna start streaming because like it's not an if, it's a when. Streamers kind of come up with nerdy little, not nerdy necessarily, but little nicknames to call our community. And so I call my community the Quilty Crew. So, yeah. My Quilty Crew is best crew. Okay? You can't have my Quilty Crew. I'll share. But you can't have it. They're the best. But yeah. Well, thank you, Joe, so much for coming on stream and hanging out and just sharing everything you do. You guys, when I say that I'm inspired by Joe, you really don't understand how inspiring Joe really is in everything she does. And yeah, like one of my favorite people. So yeah. All right, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not crying. We're gonna roll out, and I'm gonna go blow my nose. So thanks everybody for hanging out, and I will see you all Friday night.